So I started my journey. I had switched up my business a little bit, and I was very clear on my mission and my vision and who it is that I wanted to serve. Um, in my head, I knew that I wanted to serve product development engineers, and in my head and my gut, I knew that they were being underserved. And most of all, in my heart, I knew that if I could reach out to them and share what I know, I could make a difference in their lives in a positive way. And I knew that if I could reach them and deliver my message, it would not only change their experience, but it would have a trickle down effect on a whole lot more people, including consumers for the end products. Now, I had been going it alone in my business for a while. Um, I was sort of performing. I was doing podcasts and getting my website up and saying, hey, person, I have something to say. Will you come listen to me? And it was sort of like a performance. I grew up in the performing arts. I was the stagehand at some point. I played instruments in the pit. I was the performer on the stage, and I attended all the rehearsals and made the show work. And that's what I was doing in my business. I had a lot of different roles that I was filling for this performance. And I had to learn a lot of new skills like podcasting and videoing to make it happen. And the show was happening and it was good, but it wasn't getting the impact that I really wanted out of it. So I asked myself, who do I need to become to better serve my audience? Who do I need to become to better serve my audience? So I started looking into some training and just a show of hands. When I look into training, I started getting into podcasts and books and training modules and asynchronous learning things. Yeah, most all of us do. And I was doing the same thing. And I discovered Carol's Speaking Your Brand podcast. And her thought leadership message is what really spoke to me. That was really intriguing. And I also like the Thought Leader Academy idea because I wouldn't be going it alone. I would have a coach, I would have two coaches, and I would be in group sessions and group calls with other like minded women to help learn the material and to help me grow. So that really appealed to me. I'll be honest, what really didn't appeal to me was public speaking, but we're going to wrap around back to that at the end. So I took the Thought Leaders Academy, and my approach was to be just the best understudy that I could be. I showed up to rehearsals. I learned my role, and I tried to grow into my role a little more. I met all of my deadlines and watched all the videos, or almost all the videos, maybe 98%. And I tried to show up for the others in the group in the best way that I could. And it was hard work. There were weeks that I didn't want to dial in to this call just because it was hard, or I didn't want to step up to the challenge that Carol and Diane were giving to me, either in the meetings or in the Thinkific program. But I committed to it and I wanted to see it through. And I did learn a lot of new stagehand and performance skills. But I also learned more about my inner workings. You see, I was comfortable sitting and stewing in imposter syndrome and not being confident and being that feeling of uncomfortable when you're learning new things. I was comfortable with that, and I knew that that was going to happen. But what surprised me is how mean I was to myself about what triggered those feelings. And it would be, I would tell myself things like, I'm being silly. Or Dianna, you need to buck up and get over this. You're being, stupid about this. And I would be kind of cruel to myself about it. And Dianna and Carol, they never invalidated my feelings. And they never said anything like, oh, it'll be okay, you'll be fine. And they never said anything like, oh, just go ahead and do it, everything will work out. They gave me the space and the grace to just learn and accept what I was feeling and to take it in and then just move forward with it. So that's what I did. I essentially closed the curtains on my performance. Now, I left somebody out there because it's intermission. That's what happens with shows. The people in the pit are still playing through intermission, or somebody's left on the stage to engage the audience while the rest of everybody is behind the curtain working out whatever they need to work out to change the scenes. And that's what I did. I tore down the scenes. I threw out all the extra props that really weren't serving anything, and I got rid of the extras. So when the curtain opened again, it was just me and a prop, because we have learned that having a prop where you're giving speeches can really help to drive it home. But really, it was just me. And I knew in my head that I was enough. And I knew in my gut that what I had to offer and how I had to offer it was unique and important. And I knew in my heart that I was enough. Excuse me. So it wasn't what Dianna and Carol said so that I was ready, but it was when I was ready. I was enough because I had my stories and my experience and my dream of a future and my desire to bring others into the future with me. So I had finally developed my thought leadership. I did it. And I knew and I understood how to apply it and where it fit in. And it was like a click, like a spotlight, a stage spotlight shining on a solar performer. It was just a click. And I understood. And back in the beginning, I said I really didn't want to get into speaking, but now I do, because now I see how it all fits together. And I'm so excited to go out and do speeches on big stages and to welcome on my audience and take them on my journey with me. So I have become who I needed to be for my audience today. And with the growth mindset, I'll continue to become who I need to be for my audience tomorrow. Thank you.